In this slide, we delve into Domain 1 of the CISSP, specifically focusing on security and risk management. Our primary topic is risk response and mitigation. It's essential to understand the different methods of addressing risks once they've been identified. Effective risk response involves choosing between various strategies, such as mitigation, transference, acceptance, or avoidance, each with its unique application depending on the specific risk scenario. Mastering these concepts is crucial as they form a significant part of effective risk management and ensure that security efforts are closely aligned with business objectives. In this section, we delve into risk response and mitigation, an essential component of effective risk management within the CISSP domain. When we discuss risk response, it's imperative to understand the strategies available for an organization to address identified risks. These strategies include mitigation, transference, acceptance, and avoidance. Mitigation involves taking steps to reduce the chance or impact of a threat. Transference typically means shifting the risk to a third party, such as through insurance. Acceptance is when the organization decides to accept the risk and its potential consequences without taking additional steps to mitigate it. Finally, avoidance involves changing plans to circumvent the risk entirely. Understanding and selecting the appropriate response strategy is not only critical for managing risk, but also for ensuring that security measures align with business objectives. This alignment is fundamental, as highlighted in the CISSP, for bridging security efforts and organizational goals, ultimately leading to more efficient and effective risk management processes. In this slide, we delve into identifying and presenting risks, a vital process in risk management. Start with risk identification. Tools like risk registers and threat models are essential here, as they help systematically list potential threats and vulnerabilities that could impact the organization. Identifying these risks early enables us to prepare and address them efficiently. Once identified, presenting these risks to senior management is key. Use clear and business-relevant language to communicate effectively. It's crucial to highlight the potential impacts on business objectives to ensure that the significance is well understood by decision-makers. By mastering both identification and presentation of risks, we can ensure that our security efforts are well aligned with our organization's goals, paving the way for informed decision-making. When it comes to choosing a response strategy for managing identified risks, mitigation is one approach you can take. Mitigation involves implementing various controls to reduce the risk to an acceptable level. These controls can vary depending on the type and nature of the risk you are addressing. Let's explore some examples of mitigation controls. Technical controls include elements such as firewalls and antivirus software. These are designed to protect your systems by preventing unauthorized access and detecting malicious activities. On the other hand, administrative controls encompass security policies and training programs. These controls help to create a secure environment by establishing guidelines for safe practices and ensuring that staff are well informed about security protocols. By implementing these mitigation controls, you can significantly reduce the likelihood and impact of potential threats, thereby helping to safeguard your business objectives. On this slide, we're looking at a command example for implementing a firewall, specifically focusing on using UFW, uncomplicated firewall. The command sudo UFW allow 20 TCP is used to allow SSH access on port 22, which is common for remote server management. Following that, the command sudo UFW enable activates the UFW firewall. These commands illustrate how to configure and enable a basic firewall as a form of technical control. By allowing specific traffic and enabling the firewall, you are mitigating potential security risks by controlling access and protecting the system from unauthorized connections. Now that we have an understanding of how to implement a firewall, let's discuss another critical aspect of managing cybersecurity risk: transference. Risk transference is the process of shifting risk to a third party. This can be done through methods such as purchasing insurance or outsourcing certain operations. When opting for risk transference, it's important to ensure that the third party has adequate security measures in place to manage the risk effectively. Another crucial factor to consider are the legal implications that come with contracts. Make sure these contracts clearly define the responsibilities and liabilities, so there is no ambiguity if a security incident were to occur. In summary, transference can be a viable strategy for managing risk, but it requires careful evaluation of the third party's security posture and clear legal agreements to ensure all bases are covered. Now, let's explore our next response strategy: risk acceptance. Risk acceptance involves acknowledging the risk and choosing to accept it without taking further action to mitigate it. This approach is typically chosen when the cost of mitigating the risk exceeds the benefits. It's important to note when to consider this strategy. Risk acceptance is appropriate when the potential impact or probability of the risk is low enough that it does not justify the expense or effort to mitigate it. Additionally, you'll need to document your acceptance decision and the reasoning behind it. This documentation is crucial for future reference and accountability. By carefully considering when to accept a risk and ensuring thorough documentation, you can manage risks effectively while ensuring your resources are allocated where they're needed most. On this slide, we'll cover risk avoidance as a strategy for managing risks within your projects. Risk avoidance focuses on eliminating activities or conditions that introduce risk altogether. This may involve discontinuing a process that poses significant risks or altering the project's scope to exclude risky elements. By steering clear of such risks, you essentially prevent potential negative impacts. These measures can ensure a smoother project execution and enhance overall security. In this slide, we'll delve into implementing countermeasures as a strategic response to identified risks. The first step involves identifying the necessary controls based on your thorough risk assessment. This will help you discern the appropriate measures to employ, whether they are technical, administrative, or physical in nature. Once you've determined what is needed, the next step is to deploy these controls effectively. Technical controls might include software solutions like firewalls or encryption tools. Administrative controls could be policies and procedures enforced within the organization, and physical controls might involve securing buildings or physical devices. Let's consider a practical example. Imagine you're deploying endpoint protection across an organization. This measure effectively mitigates risks associated with malware or unauthorized access at the individual device level, ensuring comprehensive protection for all networked computers within the enterprise. This real-world example highlights the importance of a multifaceted approach to risk management, emphasizing the necessity for a strategic blend of control types. Here's an example of how we can use tools to understand vulnerabilities, specifically concerning Windows passwords. The command shown here utilizes Hashcat, a popular password cracking tool, to perform a brute force attack against NTLM hashes. The command hashcat-m1000 hash.txt wordlist.txt instructs Hashcat to use the mode for NTLM hashes, mode 1000, and apply a word list, wordlist.txt, to crack the passwords listed in hash.txt. Additionally, the command hashcat-m1000 crack.txt hash.txt wordlist.txt extends this by specifying that the cracked passwords should be saved to a file named crack.txt. The -0 option denotes a straight attack mode, which combines the word list with the given hashes directly. Using such tools in a controlled and ethical manner can highlight potential security weaknesses in your systems, giving you actionable insight into improving your overall security posture. In this slide, we will discuss ongoing monitoring and reporting, which are critical components of an effective risk management strategy. For monitoring, utilize key risk indicators, KRIs, to continuously evaluate and track risk levels within your organization. These indicators help in identifying potential issues before they become significant problems. Additionally, employ key performance indicators, KPIs, to assess the effectiveness of your controls. KPIs will provide insights into how well your risk mitigation measures are performing and whether they need adjustments. When it comes to reporting, it is essential to provide regular updates to senior management. This ensures that decision-makers are always informed about the current risk landscape and the performance of risk controls. Utilize dashboards and detailed reports to present this information clearly and efficiently, allowing for quick and informed decisions. By integrating both monitoring and reporting practices, you can maintain a proactive approach to managing risk and ensuring the security measures are both effective and up to date. In this section, we focus on two critical concepts: due diligence and due care. Due diligence involves conducting thorough assessments and investigations. It's about gathering detailed information to make informed decisions. On the other hand, due care refers to implementing reasonable measures to protect assets. This means taking action based on the findings from your due diligence efforts. For example, regular security audits and compliance checks are practical applications of these principles. They help ensure that the organization's security posture is both effective and up to date. This process not only lowers risks, but also reinforces the overall security framework. Remember, both due diligence and due care are foundational for maintaining a robust risk management process. On this slide, we'll delve into the role of effective risk communication, which is a critical responsibility of the IT security manager. The IT security manager needs to clearly communicate risks and the corresponding controls to senior management. This involves translating technical jargon into non-technical language that business executives can easily understand. Effective communication also means aligning security risks with broader business objectives. For example, instead of just talking about the possibility of a data breach, you can frame the discussion in financial terms. Explain the potential financial impact, such as loss of revenue or regulatory fines, to make it more relatable and urgent for business leaders. By making risks and their implications clear, you help ensure that top management is aware of the significance of cybersecurity within the context of overall business goals, enabling better informed decision-making and prioritization of resources. In this slide, we'll delve into the tools for monitoring and measuring the effectiveness of your security measures using key risk indicators, KRIs, and key performance indicators, KPIs. KRIs are essential metrics that indicate the risk levels within your IT environment. For example, the number of detected vulnerabilities in your systems is a KRI that can help you gauge how exposed your organization is to potential threats. On the other hand, KPIs measure the effectiveness of the controls you've implemented to mitigate those risks. An excellent example of a KPI is the time it takes for your team to detect an incident. A shorter detection time is often indicative of more effective monitoring processes and can significantly reduce the potential impact of security breaches. By effectively using these tools, you can not only better understand and manage your organization's risk landscape, but also demonstrate the value and effectiveness of your security strategies to senior management. Now, let's delve into a real-world scenario to better understand how we can apply the tools for monitoring and measuring we discussed earlier. Imagine your organization is facing a ransomware threat. How do you effectively identify and address this risk? Firstly, ensure you have regular backups in place. Regular backups can save your organization from significant data loss in the event of a ransomware attack. It's crucial that these backups are secure and tested periodically to ensure their reliability. Secondly, implement robust incident response plans. An incident response plan should clearly outline the steps to take immediately after detecting a threat. This includes isolating infected systems, notifying relevant stakeholders, and beginning the recovery process while minimizing downtime and data loss. These best practices, when integrated into your risk management framework, can significantly enhance your ability to manage and mitigate threats like ransomware effectively. In conclusion, we've emphasized that effective risk management requires a blend of strategies. Addressing specific threats, such as ransomware, calls for a multifaceted approach. It's crucial to ensure regular backups and implement robust incident response plans. Communication and continuous monitoring play vital roles in maintaining a secure environment. As you move forward, apply these strategies within your organization. Make it a point to regularly review and update your risk management practices to stay ahead of potential threats. This proactive approach will help you mitigate risks and maintain the integrity of your systems and data. Next, we will delve into the sources and tools that can further aid in your risk management efforts. including established guidelines and methodologies from recognized bodies in the field. For this slide on references, here are the key sources and tools you can utilize for effective risk management in your organization. First, we have NIST SP 800-30, which is a comprehensive guide for conducting risk assessments. This document provides a detailed methodology to help you identify and evaluate risks in your IT systems and information security. Next, ISO IEC 27005 focuses on information security risk management. It offers a systemic approach to managing risks related to information security within any organization. In terms of tools, the OWASP risk rating methodology is extremely valuable. It provides a practical method to assess and prioritize risks, particularly in the context of web application security. Lastly, the CIS controls are a set of best practices that help guide organizations in identifying and mitigating risks effectively. These controls offer actionable steps to enhance your organization's security posture. Utilize these sources and tools to develop a robust risk management strategy tailored to your organization's needs. Thank you for completing this course. If you found the content useful, don't forget to leave a like. Your feedback is important, so feel free to leave a comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay updated with future content. Lastly, please share this course with your friends and colleagues who might benefit from it. Thank you for your participation.